Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to get through this thing called Mix CD. My name is Mike, part of the SPDM crew, and I love making Mix CDs. Each week, we give our guests a theme and an 80-minute time limit for which songs they're going to pick for their Mix CD. This week, we are going to be talking about money-themed songs. And when I put out a call to individuals who would be interested in talking about a mix CD, I reached out to somebody who was in one of our Facebook groups and wanted to talk to them because she is a DJ. She is kind of in the general Chicagoland area, so and a fellow podcaster. So I am happy to have on the show today Disco Kitty, otherwise known as Margot Rudy. Hey,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So, greatly appreciate you, indulging me with this and coming up with a pretty kick-ass playlist. At first glance, love a lot of the songs that are on your list. So, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into DJing in the first place.
I got into DJing. This is a long story. I'm a piano player and I've been playing piano since I was 4 years old. Left hand, right hand. I got into music, like dance music in high school and junior, actually I was like in sixth grade. I got into house music. So I'm from Chicago. And late at night, I'd record mixes while I was sleeping. I had a cassette player because I grew up in the 80s. So I'd like press record and record while I was sleeping and then listen to them when I woke up. And I just really dug it. And so I go to college and I marry this guy who's in a punk rock band. And we end up getting a bunch of financial aid. Like for us as kids, I was 17, I was 18, 17 when I went to college, 18 when I married this dude. And he wanted to add like another instrument to the band. So he wanted to get these turntables, which turned out to be Techniques. That's like the brand of if you're going to learn how to DJ on turntables, that's what you want to learn how to Technique 1200s. And so he ended up getting the right brand without me realizing it. And while he was practicing with his band, I was like, hey, we've got these turntables in our house. I grew up admiring DJs, because now I'm in college. And so I was like, I'm gonna do this. And so I did it and it's been a ride ever since. Yeah.
It's that yeah, that's a hell of a story. That is not what I was expecting, and that's what I love about that story. So what has been kind of the driving force that keeps you going with it? What is it about DJing that you enjoy so much?
I make my own schedule. I decide when I want to work. I don't have a day. A lot of people are like, what's your day job? I'm a social media manager, but that's what you have to do to be a DJ these days is run socials. But no, this is my job. This is what I do. I make good money. At times I make as much as a lawyer does per hour. I don't work as many hours as an attorney or a doctor, but the money is good for, I mean, I could hustle harder, I guess, but I guess I'm lazy. I don't know.
I I mean, you put it the best way just a second ago. You make your own hours, you work when you can. So
Yeah, when I can, when I want to be like a full, I was a stay-at-home mom when my kid was little. He's now 10, and
mhm.
I still want to be there for him after school and before school. It's important to me. I really like being there. Really like being there for him to like lean on and know that I'm just gonna like take care of him. It
Mhm.
feels good to know that I can do that and like go to some of his field trips and be available for that kind of stuff. And if you forgot something at school, like we live close enough, I can go take it to him and it's not a big deal. And it doesn't throw my whole day off balance and I don't make him feel bad because I'm here for him.
Yeah, that's awesome. I relate to that because I took a job and I'm close by my kid's school, so if she needs something, like if she forgets something, which she's 7, she forgets stuff all the time
Yeah.
at school or
Yeah.
at home, or if she's not feeling good and she needs someone to pick her up. I'm around, so I will gladly take that chance, and I'm just, grateful for the opportunity when that does come up. So what kind of events do you typically, if you're the one that's kind of like setting your schedule, what kind of events do you typically like to DJ for?
Well, I'm in this like semi-retirement mode right now. I'm not I'm a mom, like I said. That's my number one job. So I'm not really interested. I used to be a rave DJ. I'm now a mom. I'm in my 40s, approaching 50s, and I don't want to be hanging out right now in a rave. So I'm doing weddings, and I don't want to hang out at a bar either right now. It's either because it's not really limited. It's just a musician's job. Where do you want to gig? Well, I don't really want to gig and mix with a lot of different people that will tempt me into a certain lifestyle that I don't want to be sharing as a parent right now. Not judging what other people do, they can do whatever they want. Me personally, I know what I can get tempted into doing and what the triggers are, and I just find it easiest and smartest for me to be doing weddings,
Hmm.
corporate events. They pay well too. There's insurance, everything's on the up and up. I'm paying my taxes. Like it's easiest as a parent and as someone who's trying to do retirement. Because I'm saving money in my IRAs and stuff like that. So weddings and like holiday parties. Not so much like bar mitzvah. No, no, I don't like doing like children's events.
I
Children
gotcha.
are incessant requesters. They're the worst and they don't,
What? No, no,
awful.
as both of us are parents, yeah, no, children always just listen to what listen to what you say the first time, and more importantly, they don't request things, so I don't believe you.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly. I'm a mom first and foremost, so it's like I don't want I just during at my job I don't want like kids demanding things of me. It's the last thing I want. So I do not DJ children's events. I did a bar mitzvah recently, but it was very minimal children interaction. It was just me playing for the parents pretty much.
Nice. Good.
I sound kind of sour pussy, but like when
I I wouldn't
anyone
go
who's
that far.
worked it or like felt it or had like it's an odd situation, especially even at weddings too, it's hard enough to get everyone dancing and moving and on the same page. And you got that happening. And then you get this little kid come up and walk up to you and they're like, "Can you play Happy, by, the Gnomes song?" It's a horrible Pharrell song. I hate it. And it's just got it's a high BPM. You got to play it with like Taylor Swift.
Mm,
Shake It Off. It's the same BPM. It's high. Hey Ya is at the same area. It's like 160, I think. It's Footloose, same thing. It's just like that marching. Anyways, it's just a vibe changer and vibe killer, but you don't want to like be mean to kids but I can be. I'll just be like, yeah, sure, and then I just never play it, and poor kid keeps coming up and asking me. I'm like, next.
it'll be next. Don't worry about it, even though it should be
Yeah, a lot of times I do. I mean, I'll appease them, but what happens is if you appease them and
then they're
when
gonna tell their little friends, and then the weird songs start to come out, I'm sure.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the adults have no idea what's going on. And you got all these and then and children want you to play the same song over and over and over again. That's the thing is they don't have it, they don't care. They don't care that they just heard it. Like they'll keep coming back. So I that's the only reason why. It's just high maintenance. That's what it is. It's high maintenance. It's a lot more high maintenance than I want.
No, I get that there, especially considering today alone, driving my 7-year-old to swim practice, we listened to a song from the Zombies 3 soundtrack 6 times. And it was great.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly what I can't know.
Yeah, yeah, that's
But I mean, that's what my life is just hearing the same song. I played Wanna Dance with Somebody last year because I have a ticker, I have a number counter on my program that I play. I played Whitney Houston's I Wanna Dance 156 times last year.
So at that point, are you sick of that song, or do you still is that just such a bop that you're just like, you know what? I expect this. I've come to love it. It is what it is. I kind of just tune it out at this point.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's awesome. I love it, but at the same time, like it's not something I would listen on my own playlist. So that's it. So I can play it again for work, jam out to it, love it, enjoy it. But now, like, is it the kind now, like, if I'm at the grocery store, will I stop and start singing to it? Not.
No,
No. Will I
that's
listen to it in my car? No, not anymore. Those songs absolutely cannot because they remind me of work now. Like I remember when I was in high school and I worked at Toys R Us.
oh, I worked at Toys R Us too. I
Okay,
empathize with you so
oh
much.
my God, so do you remember they would have a sound, they would have a track, they would have a soundtrack of certain songs that, and they were Toys R Us approved
Mhm.
tracks. And I would hear them at home, like, and if I heard them at home, like, or like on the radio, like it would, it'd make like my hair stand on the back of my neck because it would remind me of work.
Yeah.
As a kid, I didn't want to think about work.
Yeah, that's true. I used to work at a Best Buy and a Sears back in the day when Sears was a legit thing. And it's the same thing. There were certain songs that they played that whenever I hear it outside of work, I'm like, nah, can we change this? I'm
Yeah,
good.
it just reminds you of working. You're like, it's just, I don't want to think of that. I feel like this. So, yeah. And I mean, I like how I feel at weddings, actually. I really do. I really do love my job, actually. I totally love it. I love my job. But at the same time, yeah, I don't want to be reminded that when I'm not working, that I'm working.
Right. No, that's
It's work.
complete,
That's what work is.
complete. Especially nowadays where work-life balance is just so unbelievably tricky, where you always feel like you're plugged in. I can imagine that anytime that you hear a song that you play a lot at any type of event, it's it's probably incessant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I can still hear the Killers, Mr. Brightside, and jam out to it. I'll be okay. That's like the big ender last year was the big last song for weddings.
Really?
Bright, oh yeah, Mr. Brightside. Fuck yeah. That
What is it about that song that kind of just makes it a great ender song?
it's a good crescendo. It's a good, it just is a good peak. It's just, everyone starts they start jumping and going wild and singing together and hands are up in the air and they're holding up usually somebody ends up being held up on the shoulders and I never have to conduct it. It just always I mean I know when to play it. I know when not to play it. If there's 15 people left. In fact, no, it doesn't even matter how many people are left. It matters on the personality type of the people that are there. And that's why I'm a good DJ because I can read people and be like, oh, these people are gonna lose their pants right now if I play Mr. Brightside. And they do every time I play it. It's a win.
Nice.
Yeah.
I never would have expected that as a big hit at a wedding, but now that
Well,
now that you mention it, the last couple weddings and like events that have had DJ, they've played that. You're right at the right time.
that and I like Small Things by Blink 182.
Yeah, yeah, that happened once at a thing, but Blink 182 songs have cycled through depending on the event. A buddy of mine, him and his wife, their first dance was Blink 182's first date. I was like,
Oh, yes,
this is
that song
cute.
too. Yep.
Do you have like is there like a particular group of songs that you're just like I hate this? Like are you not big with like Electric Slide or any other songs that you're like fine, I will do this begrudgingly because this is what the bride has asked, but I normally wouldn't.
Yeah, on top of like that, the line dances are okay because it's the people dig them, and it's you don't. And the great thing about line dances, if you're not at a line dance particular party, is it's only like one or two. So for me, it's the sing along bar songs that you hear at like college bars. So anything like Sweet Caroline. Yeah. Brown Eyed Girl, Piano Man, Tiny Dancer. And Tiny Dancer is such a great song, but I hate playing it at weddings. I'll play that one in my car alone and sing to it or something, or lay it in my house and hear it, but I won't. I hate playing Tiny Dancer at a wedding. Like Living on a Prayer, all those like just those weird bar songs. Hate them. I call them bar songs because it's like not like the R&B hip hop because I mean those are still fun. I think they're fun.
But those are the songs that if you're if you're at a college bar and somebody plays that, everybody's just gonna just start singing along to it, whether or not they know the words or whether or not they're sober or drunk or whatever, and it's gonna sound horrendous. And yeah, just
I think it
I,
just
I
reminds me of drunks, and I that's why again being reminded of something, and getting the ick,
oh yeah.
and I'm not a big drinker and I don't like drunk people and so again, comes down to being who you're surrounded by and associated memories and stuff like that. So yeah, that's probably why I don't like bar songs because it just reminds me of like gross drunk gross like especially bar guys are the worst and bar girls, the Karens. They're holding their heels and they're just fucking falling all over in their strapless dresses. They're gross.
What's the male equivalent to a Karen?
A, a Chad, I think.
Chad, yeah, that's right. It's a Chad who just
A
goes up and just
Chad.
hits on every single woman at the bar, or just
And and
can't
and
take a hint.
yeah, those yeah, and the gross guys that like will drop like a something in your drink. It's just
Yeah, that's oh God.
college, but that was a long time ago, so I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. I don't again I don't DJ at bars any that much anymore. I might, but as a parent, it's just like I don't want to be. I go to bars, I go hear music and stuff like that, but it's just like I don't want to work in one. I don't want to work in a bar.
Right. So let's kind of pivot and let's talk about your playlist. So I sent you a list of possible options for a playlist, and you picked something money themed. So why'd you pick that as the theme for your playlist?
Because it just oh I forgot to put a song on there. I'm gonna add it right now. I picked finance because money seems to be the just a big theme in my life lately. And I started a podcast myself to kind of just go along with, oh, why did it go out of there? That's it just seems like I got divorced and the money I really manipulated my money to save myself like just like save myself from this divorce. I was a stay-at-home parent. I had I had I didn't have a way of making money except for like DJing and stuff like that. So it's just I ended up like learning how to manipulate money and savings really well. And it just seems that if you can manage money well, you can get yourself out of most problems. And it's a sad reality, but like it's a fact.
It is a fact, particularly here in the US, for sure.
Yeah.
It is definitely where money is very, very
And
important.
I didn't have a good support system around me, like people around me to help me even emotionally. So without having even without having a good emotional support and can't buy me love bullshit. You can't buy happiness bullshit. You can buy safety. You can buy security. You can buy food. And that stuff can make you happy and make you comfortable enough to love other things.
See, and that's the word right there, is that sure, it can't buy you happiness, but comfort does certainly matter a
And it
lot.
leads to happiness, some kind of happiness.
Right, right. And
You don't have to be rich, but you have to learn how to work money. And so I luckily was smart to have excellent credit. So when I walked away from my marriage, I had an 800 credit score, and because of that, I was able to get an apartment. I was able to use credit cards. I was able to get like a loan if I needed, and able to not be totally frightened. So that's why finance is a big deal to me. And I always end up working in finance in some weird way. Like I did have day jobs before, and I was a risk manager and I worked in finance.
Oh,
So I do have some understanding of accounting and finance enough to know that if you're smart with it, you can manipulate money to help you lead a life that you want to live. I'm not rich in any circumstance, in any way, in any definition, except by the love of my child and this puppy and the cats. But I don't have a stable income. I'm an artist, I'm a DJ. COVID could happen and there will be no weddings
oh my
for
God.
another few years.
Yeah.
Nothing is certain, my friends.
No, no, it most definitely is not. The last, what, 15, 20 years have taught us that there's no such thing as certainty for sure.
What a roller coaster.
Right, right. So you just added a 19th song to your list. So tell
Oh,
me,
yeah, take one out, right? If it's over
I
80
t-
minutes. Okay,
it's all good. I'll
good.
2 minutes is fine. And it's not like I'm burning the mix CD or anything like that because the mix CD would flip out, but it's a playlist. So I'll I'll let it slide. It's all
Thank
good. So did order matter, or what were you kind of looking for when it came to the songs that you put on this list?
Order, no, no order. Just the theme, and the theme. I entitled it Disco Finance. I kind of do that with I do themed mixes actually on my Mix Cloud. If you go there, I have a lot of themes because I'm a very versatile DJ. People are like, well, what kind of music do you play? I'm an open format DJ. I play everything. I've been playing piano since I was a little girl, so a little 4-year-old girl. So I started with a classical. So I have a very deep musical education because I learned theory. So yeah, I love all musics, most music. So this finance theme was kind of fun. So no, they're not in an order, but yeah, the theme is money, and it's just, it's money is sexy, money is stressful, money is tough, money makes you feel like you're pumped. So that's kind of like that's what the mix is. That's what I mean. Obviously, a lot of the titles are money themed. I didn't want them to be too punny because I a lot of times do things in metaphor and I have double meanings, but I find that with my themed mixes, I do like the titles of the songs to be somewhat around the theme of what I'm talking about versus
Mhm.
trying to make people really sit there and
Really think
think so
about it.
hard. Like life is stressful enough, and
We as a society do not have an attention span sometimes to even comprehend things like metaphor, just kind of even just something like critical thinking is just
yeah,
not a strength of our collective society anymore. So
no. And yeah, everyone's and like some people really try to be very pretentious, and so I just saw sometimes I like to be overly obvious instead, and that's not because when I said that I don't really have a day job, but I do work in social media, so I have a lot of experience testing out how people react on social media, and I've been testing it for years. And I find that when people are more punny and metaphoric, and speak with double entendre or are clever, it actually doesn't pay off and it doesn't work. It doesn't translate
oh,
well, and it just doesn't pay off. People don't get it. They end up actually disliking you or getting upset. And I can only take that. I can only do that so much. And I don't like people being upset at me with my music because music is my favorite. I mean, I think music is God's gift. It's like God has lots of gifts if you believe in God. But I do believe that like God speaks with like music is a way, is like God's language, like it's just such a gift because while songs have made me cry and songs have made me laugh, I've never had a song truly like betray me and break my heart. I've never had music like bring me to despair. I've gone to music with despair and feeling very
And then it kind
they've
of
been that.
helped you get back up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've ever I don't think there's ever been a song in my life that's made me feel worse. And yeah, again, like you could have started off happy and listened to a song and it reminded you of something sad or something that you didn't like, but it's still just you being raw. Like even when I hear this crappy bar songs that I hate, they're just more tapping into like parts of myself that I don't like, you know? That's really what dislike is just you not liking it in yourself, usually those kind of feelings.
Well, even if so, a couple things you said kind of really resonated with me is that there is something about creating something and then sharing it with the world, that there's a vulnerability there that you just have to kind of respect for individuals who do anything music related. And whether it's instrumental, whether it's, you wrote the song, whether it's you sang the song, there is something there, even if it's trashy pop songs that I secretly love. There's still something, there's still something to that. And you're right. I've never I've never had a song that like brought me down to the point where it's like I don't want to listen to music anymore. Because there's all kinds of songs out there that can you can avoid that one song all you want, but then there's billions, zillions of other songs out there that you have yet to be discovered that you owe it to yourself to at least try to look for something else, right?
I've never truly encountered anyone in my life that didn't like music. I only heard of one person in my life. My parents, my parents were landlords to this guy, and his mother didn't like music. That's as close as I've come to anyone in my life. Like, who do you know anyone that doesn't like music?
Yes, and it's a red
Oh,
flag to me. It's
oh yeah,
like
that's
how
a red flag.
like how on earth can you not like music? You cannot find a single genre of music that you like out there that you're like, yeah, I can get on board with this. Like, do you just like sitting in silence all the
I
time?
I can't imagine what part of it they wouldn't like. Like my only guess is the joy.
Maybe they're afraid of it, or maybe when I started this podcast I also kind of made it a conscious effort because I kind of noticed the way that I consume media is completely different than how I consumed it before, because we had things like the radio, and the radio is how you discover new music. And nowadays, yeah, you could discover new music on Spotify or what have you, but I'm not actively looking to discover new music as much as I used to anymore, which sucks. So I'm making a conscious effort to try to challenge myself this year with music. And if there's a genre of music that I have said in the past, like, oh, it's not my thing. Like, I want to challenge myself to find an entryway and not say I don't like it. I just haven't found my entry point. And there's nothing wrong with that.
One of my ways is getting to new music, obviously, is through my clients with weddings and stuff like that, because I specialize in making weddings, catering to the type of music that somebody wants to hear. But I hate to say it. I hate to recommend it. Spotify has a few, its AI is really good. If you hit their DJ or they also have like a list of like new music to recommend to you. But I like the thing with the DJs though, it really does play over and over and over again the songs you like. And so, but it throws in some new stuff. And so I like it. And then I hate to say it, but yeah, Spotify, if you want to dip your foot into having music suggested to you where you really don't have to think and look and search and dig, I would start with Spotify.
I trust Spotify a lot more than I trust YouTube right now.
Ooh, yeah, I hate YouTube music so much. I really do. I don't know what it is about it, but like, yeah, I don't go down the YouTube rabbit hole. I never did. I
Lucky,
never
lucky
did.
you keep it that way, because YouTube is just a cesspool now. It's kind of
My,
like it's kind of like the old, or it's kind of like Twitter now, just
oh, that
no good.
sucks.
no good. Can
My son is addicted to the YouTube, and so much so that like I have him limited. He's only allowed to watch an hour at a time. And he's not allowed to watch several hours, at least while he's with me. He gets away with it at his dad's because his dad doesn't monitor. But when he's with me, like I strictly monitor and enforce because I used to live in a nice big house, but now I live in a small two-bedroom apartment. And luckily I love the way my apartment is shaped. It's like there's privacy, but there's not
Mhm.
for, like I can snoop and not snoop, like openly hear what's going on and see what's going on. And no, the YouTube is off.
Well, because not only is YouTube awful, but the fucking algorithm just it gets fucked up so quickly, and you just never know what's gonna come up next. Like my 7-year old, we finally, like, I don't think we're ever going to fully get rid of YouTube, but we've done enough lately because we're finally at the point where when we ask her what does she want to do when she grows up, it's not YouTube star. I'm like, perfect. Well,
Oh my God. And see, we're at the opposite. So like I didn't let my kid watch YouTube until I found out he was watching it like a year or two ago, and he was fine. Like so, like he wasn't one of those babies that had a phone at the restaurant. We never did that. He's never did that. And
mhm,
then we get the divorce, he got the phone, but he wasn't doing the YouTube and stuff like that. So now though, that's what he wants to be now. He wants to be a YouTube star
yeah.
because he's had more time on it, and now he's like his second choice is like he's got these other choices of his career, but he's like, that's only gonna happen if I don't become a YouTube star. And I'm like, okay, he wants to be an influencer. Awesome.
Great, great. What a way to live, right? And not only that, the shit that my daughter was watching as well, affluent children opening, toys and
Oh
doing all that stuff. And
no.
it's like, dude, you don't get it right now, but these poor kids are just being exploited by their parents, and you don't get it right now.
No,
And
no, yeah,
you love watching it because they go on these like kick-ass adventures and things like that. But this kid is gonna look back at this because the internet is made in permanent marker and not in pencil, and is gonna be mortified. Mortified.
yeah. Well, not mortified if he's rich.
Probably. I would probably agree with that.
I don't know what those parents, what they do with that money.
You hear all
Do
these horror stories about,
Are they putting it
parents,
in, are they investing it in the kid's future? Probably not.
or are they investing it in just like fancy shit for them?
Yeah,
It's like,
garbage, exactly. So, I mean, it's weird. I do believe though that like the future is in social media and stuff like that. This is the Wild West, really. I mean, we have to pay a little bit, but there's still so much for free online to
mhm.
do, you know. So we take advantage of that now while we can before we have to really like it's going to be like Netflix and Hulu. I mean, my Spotify alone, I think went up to like 13.99 a month. It's crazy. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money per month.
Well, and shavings make a pile because it's not just Spotify. You add the Netflix on top of that, and then, oh, there's this one show that you want to watch that isn't available on Netflix, so you got to get this other streaming service, and then that streaming service discontinues it, so you cancel that one, and then
Yeah.
you gotta go follow it because, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna watch Handmaid's Tale. I'm probably gonna have to pirate it. I gotta
it,
learn how to do all that stuff, but I
it's
do.
it's the last season coming up this year, so
Oh, I've been waiting for this too. This is
get
it's coming.
get that free trial, or
That's a good idea.
before before Disney starts, really cracking down on those passwords like Netflix and all these other streaming services have, which is kind of
Oh,
horseshit because it's like you guys are making a shitload of money off of this. You really think the 13.99 that you're not getting from my mom, who isn't going to watch Netflix on her own because she can't set it up on her own, is really going to break the bottom line? Fuck off.
these guys are really I mean. but that's the American way.
For sure.
So
Very,
yeah,
very, very true. So
Netflix.
fucking
Sorry.
Netflix. So this playlist did, with the exception of the one song that you kind of just tacked on at the end, were there any other songs that you considered on there and then you're like, like it doesn't fit with the vibe, or kind of like what you were talking about before, it's like this is one that you kind of have to think about a little bit more, but
Yeah, excuse me. I took out I only took out one song, one or two songs after I put it together. Did I leave MIA? I forgot what the second one was, but I took out Dire Straits, Money Ain't for Nothing. I just because
yeah.
like just because like
Yeah.
just because like Dire Straits doesn't really fit along with the rest. Oh no, it is for there. Money for Nothing. It is there. What did I take out? I forgot which one I took out because it is still there. I forgot which one I took out. But yeah, I did take one out. I did take a couple out, but it wasn't Dire Straits. I don't remember what I took out, but it didn't fit the vibe. But if I were to take another one out, it'd probably be Dire Straits because it's the only one that's like it doesn't really go with the rest of these. That and Dominator by Human Resource. It's a techno song. The rest of everything else is no, I guess no, I got a couple I got a couple electronic music in here. So yeah, Dire Straits is the
At,
only one
I was about to say, and
odd.
not only that, it's an 8-minute song as
I
well.
know I don't remember it being eight minutes. I don't know what version this could possibly be that it's 8 minutes, but we're not about to listen to it because
No,
I'm not listening to any 8 minute song, I'll tell you that.
no, I got you there. And this activity, because when I originally came up with this podcast, I originally was like, oh, let's just do playlists. And then I was like, well, if you have infinite choice, that makes it too easy at that point. So if you scale it down and you boil it down to about an 80-minute list, then you got to start making some tough choices. And
Yeah.
but then you become super conscious of how long some of these songs are. So for example, I did a movie soundtrack one with a buddy of mine, and not realizing that most of these movie songs, especially ones from musicals, are all like 10 minutes long. Like,
Oh,
what the
that's way
fuck? Why do these songs need to be so long?
Yeah, I only let it go because I was like, I saw it earlier and I was like, oh, 8 minutes. But I'm like, sometimes you gotta hear the whole story and see what they have to say with the song. So I was like, yeah, that's what music is about though. Is like you gotta see but I couldn't listen to a whole bunch of 10-minute songs. But again, I'm classical music and I'm a DJ. So earlier and that songs now are a lot shorter than they used to be. A lot of songs are like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes long in electronic music lately, I'm finding. But back when I started DJing, back in like the 90s and the early 2000s, songs were easily could be 6 minutes long because you need the intro, the song, and then the ending, coming down from it. So that's because and Paid in Full is like that. Like
Mhm.
it's one of those songs that goes it tells a long ass story. But yeah, Money for Nothing it just got in because I do really like that song. So I'm
I
just
mean,
like I'm letting it stick. I'm letting it stick.
well, I'm looking at like Million Dollar Baby, for example, that makes perfect sense for this. Never occurred to me that it's only 2 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a little short.
Yeah. So let's start going through some of these songs. So kind of looking at your first three songs. So what was it about these three songs that kind of, because if order didn't really matter, it kind of seemed like you added these based on either prior knowledge, vibe, or
Yeah.
you searched for it, and these are some songs that came up. So what was it
Yeah,
about
right.
these three that
And just to make sure you are seeing the same list, right? One is Whole
well,
Lot of Money, two Paid in
well,
Full, three Have
and
No Idea.
then and
Yeah.
then Lil Wayne, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. So money makes me feel kind of gangster. Like I said, I've pulled a few things with having access to some money. So I like the vibe of just like that's this like swagger. And each of these songs has like a swagger to them. You walk to like a certain funk. And that's I just I really I did I that's right away when think of money, I think it's just being a badass. So that's what those songs remind me of and make me feel like.
Nice. The first one is the only one that I haven't heard yet.
Okay. So,
That
yeah, so that one is like a very New Yorky, like it's
mm,
about, she says it's about being it just reminds me of like I just feel like I'd be walking like in Brooklyn or like in New York and walking to a bodega and just feeling gangster with a nice like shiny black car or something waiting for me. I'm going to like a blunt wrap or something. I don't know. I guess
yeah.
that's not very rich. It's kind of ghetto-y, but like
No, I wouldn't go that far. I mean,
I mean, that's the way I like to party, so
there we go, right? So, yeah, your next group. So let's do 4 through 6. You've got Money in the Grave, which is Drake and Rick Ross. Just
yeah.
Got Paid, Johnny Kemp, and Get Money by Notorious B.I.G. Which thank you for picking that song and not Mo Money Mo Problems, because
I do not like that song that much. It's that one goes in the circle of bar songs for me.
fair,
It's a little just again, just a lot, just very, very, it's just it's overplayed for me.
very overplayed. To me, also that was a big MTV/TRL song, and
Yeah,
I just can't listen to it as much anymore. Plus, also, I don't know how I feel about listening to P. Diddy songs anymore.
I know I always hated him. Always hated him. I never played Diddy shit. Never have. So I was like, oh, you guys are catching up. I already knew this guy was gross. Always hated this guy. Always.
Gross, gross, yes. Music also kind of gross
Yes.
as well, a lot. So
Just what I never thought a lot of the Diddy music was that good anyways. Exactly. I was like, I could never find that many good songs. I never I could go on. But anyway, so these, yeah. So despite Kendrick totally,
eviscerating
yeah,
Drake,
eviscerating
he's
isn't great.
he is, as far as I'm concerned, Drake just better lay low the rest of the year because,
He's not releasing a new album.
well, when Kendrick Lamar at like the Super Bowl halftime show looks directly into the camera and says Drake with a giant smile on his face,
The Joker grin.
chef's kiss. That was beautiful.
It was dope. I saw it live. I saw it happen, so it was cool to watch it in real time because I have good luck with the picking the right Super Bowl shows. I saw Janet's boob.
I remember that as
Yeah,
well.
me and my friend, DJ friend Mike Dearborn, he's a techno DJ. He's actually well known across the pond. We both looked at each other and we're like, "Did you
That
just
yeah, had to do a double take for a second. I was like,
both like we just saw?"
Justin, what happened? What did you do?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was clearly staged, but it was awesome. I just remember I will always forever remember me and Mike looking at each other going, did I will always remember both of our faces just in disbelief because it was so like the Super Bowl is very Disney,
Yeah.
very
Well, especially around that time as well when, NSYNC
washed.
and yeah.
Yeah. It's very whitewashed. So yeah, so okay, so back to my music list. So Money in the Grave, Rick Ross, again, coming from the gangster feeling of music, money and music. So you got that. And then I wanted to like, I guess they are a little bit in order. Yeah. I did move some of this stuff around in order, but not too specifically because Dire Straits is stuck right in the middle. So just got paid, starting to feel like, feeling less of a gangster, more of like, okay, that the dopamine rush
Hmm.
of having money, like fuck yes, let's go spend some of this. And so we got Notorious B.I.G. again. You fall back into that gangstery feeling of having money and Lil Kim's part in this song is one of my it's very dirty, but in my opinion, one of the best lyrically written spat stanzas I've ever heard in my life. I'm not going to repeat it because it's so dirty. But what Lil Kim says in her part "Forget Money" is one of the best rap runs. I love it. I just think that she really just empowers being a female and being just she's the gangster bitch in that song, and it's just really cool. I really like her, how powerful she comes across in her sexuality and just being a powerful woman in that song. I wish she held on to that persona, because now she's just showing the way she looks now just shows that she doesn't feel like that kind of woman that she rapped about in this song. So the cats are wrestling. I don't know if you're going to hear any of that in the background.
I mean, yeah, I've got one cat that's looks like she's about ready to fall asleep, and the other, I have no idea where. Oh, he is right here. So,
When
yeah,
she-
no, I gotcha there. You contrast that with seven, eight, and nine. So you have "Bitch Better Have My Money" by Rihanna, and I fucking love this song. I love
Dirty.
this song so much. And "Dirty Cash" by The Adventures of Stevie V, and like you said, Money for Nothing, like almost smack in the middle of this entire playlist. I think before it was, and now it's like slightly to the left.
I like it. I like the intro to Money for Nothing. So it's actually okay because we've got that whole like gangster vibe of Notorious B.I.G. and Lil' Kim talking about her snatch and controlling men. And then Rihanna being like, listen, motherfucker, you better have my fucking money because again, I'm a gangster bitch. Because again, I'm a female, so like I do see this a little bit from a female's perspective. And a woman with money is very powerful. I mean, it's like a guy's biggest fear, not like every guy's, but like
I
in
totally get what you're saying. Yeah,
in the
for sure.
weird world of being dominated, women with
A
money.
a woman with a lot of money just feels oddly emasculating to a lot of men, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
get the fuck over it.
Yeah, it's like Cleopatra, Halle Berry, Sharon Stone. None of them are gonna probably die married. Is probably I know. Anyways, so dirty cash, money can be a little scandalous, obviously, and so then we go into dire straits. The scandal, money ain't for nothing, chicks for free. Starting to feel that vibe of like, a little bit of scandal that comes with money. And then we move on to that sexy feeling of $1 Million Baby. I love that song.
I love
I can
I
forget
I
enough
love
of
that
it.
song so much. It's again, I just didn't realize that it was so short, and it's because I didn't really listen to it a lot on the radio per se. But then again, also the main way that I did listen to that song was through fucking TikTok. So
TikTok.
it's not like it's not like I actually knew how long the song was to begin with, but then doesn't change the fact that this song just it's got such a vibe to it. It doesn't
Doesn't
sound
it?
like a lot of stuff
I did
that
not
can
think the singer was a white guy.
I didn't think that that was a white guy either. Absolutely not.
Sure, the person who was singing Tommy Richmond, I did not picture him to be the person singing that music. But hey, high five to him. It's badass. I've heard him sing live. It the falsetto is very difficult to sing in. So I give him props for doing it live because getting that vibe, recreating an in-studio vibe is very difficult. MIA $20. I for that's the only song that's not the real song that I want to be. There's a remix of it with Blue Monday by
Blue Monday.
my daughter, yeah. So you can hear it a little bit in the $20. You can hear the bass line in it. And when you think of Blue Line, when you're hearing $20, you'll kind of hear it, but I couldn't find it on Spotify. It's a remix I have. It's called a mashup when you
Ah,
put songs together. So it's a mashup. And then Hustlin', obviously we went back to Rick Ross. I really am mad that I have him of all people twice on here, but here we are.
it's I mean,
It's
it
money.
could it could be it could be it could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's money. So yeah, hustling. And then one of my favorite money songs, Bone and Thugs, For the Love of Money. This song is so sexy and just good rapping again, good lyrics. Obviously, I like,
That's Bone Thugs to a T, though.
yeah, and
Yeah.
obviously when I think of money, I clearly think of hip hop and R&B because this is all that kind of music mostly. I don't know why, but that's just the way I feel. That's the way money makes me feel, I guess. I don't feel rock and rolly.
Well,
I
I feel like with rock and roll talks about things like rebellion, and country music doesn't really talk about money per se.
Yeah, maybe that's the genre. Maybe, yeah, because maybe the genres is maybe that's what.
Because if you also look at visual representation in music videos,
Hmm.
that happens a lot in rap and hip hop and
Oh, you're
R&B
right.
songs.
Maybe
And
that's
and and there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's
oh,
just that's
interpretation. Yeah, it's art. That's the great thing about art. Or
mhm,
no. So yeah, so then moving into Champagne again, now we're, starting to feel more like fancy with money,
mhm.
Bigger Than Prince by Green Velvet. That's an electronic song. I wanted to pick it up a little bit because, I noticed that it was all like R&B and hip hop, and I was like, no, music hypes me up a little bit. And then I like that man in, again, TikTok, man in finance.
Yeah, that because when I looked at this, I was like, I know this song from somewhere, and I went straight to TikTok and
Oh,
was
man.
like, yep, that's where I know that from.
Yeah, those guys are weird, by the way, girls. Be careful with those guys. Know what you're getting into. And that's why the next song is Dominator.
By human resources of all
Oh, did
things.
you
Yeah,
know that song? I was like, I wonder if these guys even know this music. So I
I've heard some stuff by human resource, but I
I'm the one.
not that was yeah.
But yeah, so this is one of those songs, Dominator was one of those songs that I heard when I was a kid recording those mixes
Mm,
late at night from my cassette player while I was sleeping. I just press record and crash out, and like they'd play like these mixes that DJs were playing. And Dominator was one of those songs in the 80s. I think it's like a late 80s techno song. And then I wanted to close it out with a little Doja Cat because Shut Yo is probably one of the few songs on here that's not explicitly about money. I believe all of these other songs talk about literally money. They were
mhm.
all literal.
Yeah.
Maybe not Dominator,
Yeah, you do need to listen to it a little bit more, but
but
I get what you're saying though.
but Shut Yo is more like it really is like that's the one song that is just more of like an emotion song. Like it's just like, fuck off, shut your bitch. Their lyrics are shut your mouth, shut your bitch ass up. That's what it is. And that's literally what money can do is just shut people up. So I wanted it to end like that. And then I remembered I forgot one of my favorite money songs, which is
Which
fine at the end because it goes with Shut Yo. And that is Cash Rules Everything Around Me.
when I saw that this was the last song, I was like, God, that's kind of fucking perfect
Right.
to
So yeah, it
end
works
this.
out really well because it's a good music list. And now I have one. Now I'm going to listen to it all the time.
Very nice.
Um,
Awesome. So, last question I have for you is if this was an actual physical CD, like at a album store, like a fucking Sam Goody. Like, I don't know why I fucking thought of Sam Goody, but what would be the album cover for this?
The album cover for this would be I'm still in my like divorced mom era. So it's gonna be kind of like just I like just like a stack of like money. It's gonna be with money like all over like a bed. And yeah, just like a sexy lady with some heels. Not me. I'm old. Some young model with some good legs. And maybe like the dude from Psych, was it with Christian Bale? The money, where he's the murderer.
Oh, the American Psycho.
American Psycho.
Oh,
Yeah, like an American Psycho scene. But it would be with the woman holding the weapon. Because I said it was like female empowerment and stuff.
oh
So
yeah.
and it would be like Christian Bale, like in his like power suit, like like tied up somehow, having to like watch her on like having to like see her. I don't know. I'd have to see
You'd
her.
have to
Well,
to workshop that one.
Now,
where
so what would she be doing on the bed? She'd just be like counting the money, just be counting the money, paying her bills online.
just counting the money while he's just like,
No,
no, what are you doing with that money?
I'm balancing the, I'm not getting good credits.
My God.
I'm buying an apartment building.
I'm being responsible with my money. I'm not buying
Yeah, it would be
stupid
that.
shit
Yeah, it
with
would be
my
like
money.
that's what it would be. I'm investing in myself. Fuck you.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, that's
which is the point of my podcast.
let let me tell you what, if I if I were to go through and like find that that as the album cover, I'd at minimum I'd be like, I am interested in this.
It's
And
provocative. Yay.
so, well, Margot, thank you very much for coming on and giving me a new kick-ass playlist for me to listen to. So really appreciate it. Do you have anything that you'd like to plug, and where can the people find you if they want to follow you or learn more?
Thanks, Mike. I also have a podcast. I it's called Red Roped Diaries. You can find it all over the internet. You just Google it. It's, on the Google Apple Podcasts. It's we just started. I just started it. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok. I am also I have a DJ moniker, Disco Kitty, DiskoKitty. And that's where you can find the play if you can't find the playlist through yours, you can just Google my name, Disco Kitty, and I'm on Spotify. I have again a Facebook, Instagram, Mixcloud, SoundCloud. I'm very Google friendly. You just have
Hmm.
to know what my name is and how to spell it. And you can find music, Instagrams, Reels, YouTubes. The only thing I'm not doing is like OnlyFans and Snapchat. I don't mess with Snapchat.
Snap, I'm glad that Snapchat is the line, which in your defense, that's fair because Snapchat sucks. And also, like as somebody who is turning 40 this year, Snapchat, I'm still on Snapchat and I fucking hate it because it's like, why the fuck am I here? What is happening?
For nudes. It's for like dating and being weird. I don't
Uh,
know what else you would use it for, right? The picture deletes right away.
Not anymore.
Oh, it doesn't work like that
It
anymore.
well, it kind of works like that, but it definitely you can keep a lot of pictures, and also just because the picture doesn't disappear, or just because the picture disappears on your phone doesn't change the fact that it doesn't disappear on the fucking servers either. And like this is just another example of like a social media that I started in my 20s, and now I'm like,
What do I do with this?
I don't fucking want to keep up with this, but it's a way to keep in touch with maybe six people, and that's about
Oh,
it.
so yeah, it's just something that you have history with, and you're like, well, this is how I talk to these people.
It is pure 100% laziness though, because did you know that, I could just take those six people from Snapchat and find other ways to communicate with them? Like I
Like
could,
text because they have a
I,
phone.
yeah, I could just send them a text message and send them the picture or send them a picture of something, and it will just stay there and it's
So
all good.
are they gonna be worth the 11.99 monthly fee?
For
You
this
thought
that
of the show.
Snapchat Plus or whatever, like everything is plus now. Yeah. So
But yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate having
no,
a platform to discuss.
yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have you back if there's ever another playlist that you ever want to create. Just
Absolutely. I'm always making playlists for sure.
cool. Sounds good. Well, we'll be having hopefully be having you on again soon, and then also I'll be sure to add all of your shit to the episode notes as well, so people know where to find you. So
I appreciate it. Thank you. Do you want me to message you that stuff?
no, because you said
Oh,
yourself that it is Google friendly, so
yeah, it is.
I will figure it out.
Otherwise, I know I can just send you a link tree if you want to do that. Yeah, I'm on Linktree Disco Kitty. That if you want to find everything, I'm on Linktree Disco Kitty, DiskoKitty.
Look at that.
I gotta add the
Think
red rope down there.
this podcast network has a link tree as well, and yeah, just continue updating it. such first world problems, but like, yeah, it just
I
keep
know.
keep it
Yay.
updated. Yeah,
Well, have a good night.
you too. Well, my friends, the time has come to end this episode of Mix CD. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website soon to be out at spdmcrew.com. You could follow our playlist on Spotify and Apple Music at Mike Hilty. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at highflyercreative.com. If you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, no matter what happens now, you shouldn't be afraid because I know today has been the most perfect day I've ever seen.